Yeah, Alvarosi. It's just reality, you know. Ready now. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Stand up today and not tomorrow, 'cause it's never too late, yeah. Them can't keep you down, no. Proudly you wear Jaja crown. Stand up today and not tomorrow, 'cause it's never too late, yeah, yeah. Them can't hold you down, no.
So he sent these fiery serpents, the holy ones. These are called angels. Netiru, Elohim. And what happened? What did they do to the people?
They started biting them.
Biting the people. Biting the people. Then what happened?
Much people of Israel died.
Did they get sick? No, they died. God sent this fiery serpent among these people. They bit the serpents bit the people and they died. Do you think that's what happened? In a literal sense? God sent serpents and he killed people with them? No. For the people to be reborn again for God, what do they have to do?
They have to die.
They have to die. The same way you have to die to be what?
Born again.
Born again. So these people died in the spiritual sense because, for one, they were against God, and they were against who?
Moses.
Against God and Moses. So can they be for God? That man has to do what?
Has to die.
That man has to die. So now God is going to send, also tell Moses to do what? What did he tell Moses to do? Go ahead, brother.
Alright. And the people spake against God and against Moses. Wherefore have you brought us up out of Egypt to die in the wilderness? For there is no bread, neither is there any water, and our soul loafeth this light bread. And the Lord sent fiery serpents among the people, and they bit the people. And much people of Israel died. Therefore the people came to Moses and said, We have sinned, for we have spoke against the Lord and against thee. Pray unto the Lord that he take away the serpents from us. And Moses prayed for the people. And the Lord said unto Moses, Make thee a fiery serpent, and set it upon a pole.
Stop. Make what?
A fiery serpent, and set it upon a pole.
Alright. So look up here. This is what Moses made, right? Is that the fiery serpent? He set the fiery serpent among the pole. This is also the medical symbol, right? Actually, this is what it looked like. But after it was adopted later on through the Greeks, after they took the story, converted the story looked like, the symbol looked like this. Also looks like this. This is also a story in other people's culture. And this is not what you think it is. It's talking about something that's dealing with the human body. Also, it looks like this. Everybody got it? Now, we talked about wings, right? Didn't we talk about the angels had wings? The wings comes down from the crown and goes down upon man. It said that Isaiah's lips were unclean, and the angel took a coal and placed it on Isaiah's lips. So now, where's the angel at? On his mouth, right? Now everything that comes out of his mouth is what? The will of the Father, right? So from all these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wings, now the wings reside where? up in the mind of man, right? So God's thinking is now, man's thinking is now what? God's thinking, right? You see how you got all of these different symbols of this story in the book of Exodus, and people for thousands of years, even before this book was written, were already using this symbols and knew about this. This is a science. This is not a story you're reading in the book. The story is a story about a science. The science of healing. There's another one. Sowing the 6 wings of the serpent, going up, and the man has the crown. Now when I came across this one, this is also the same story. Everybody got it? You say, well, Brother Faheem, how is this the same story? Here's the crown. This is a comic book character that your children play with. Here's the wings and here's the crown. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the 6 chakras that make Thor up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the crown and the wings. Same thing. So do you see where in your comic books they know the science? And your child is watching this show, and this show is full of science. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the 6 wings of the angels. This is the crown. Now he has become a superhero. All your superheroes is talking about them coming up above human and becoming superhuman. So Thor represents that crown with the wings, saying that he's one of the sons of God, one of the angels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's the same thing. So God told Moses to put a serpent on a pole. That serpent on a pole represents this. The vertebrae in your back, the wireless circuits in your system, and now this system can either heal or can cause illness. But God said, well, I was going to send these serpents out because the people don't believe in me. They're even against me. They're even against my prophet, my Elohim, my God that I sent. They're against Aram, the prophet, his brother. So let me show you how powerful I am. I'll send these angels down in the form of Seraphim. They will bite you and kill you. And the only way that you can come back to me or come back to life is for what? Beg Moses what? Pray to God. What does it say, brother? Go ahead and read it. Pray what?
Therefore the people came to Moses and said, we have sinned, for we have spoken against the Lord and against thee. Pray unto the Lord that he takes away the serpents from us. And Moses prayed for the people. And the Lord said unto Moses, make thee a fiery serpent, and set it upon a pole. And it shall come to pass that everyone that is bitten, when he looketh upon it, shall live.
They shall live.
And Moses made a serpent of brass, and put it upon a pole. And it came to pass that if a serpent had bitten any man, when he beheld the serpent of brass, he lived. And the children of Israel set forward and pitched in both.
Okay. Now, does everybody understand what this is talking about now? Do you see that this symbol is an ancient symbol? And while people are trying to divide you into different religions, don't you see that this symbol can be taught in any religion? Don't you realize that your doctors are wearing this symbol? That Moses put the serpent on a pole? This is you. Didn't I just show you with Thor, the comic book character, that this is the same thing? Now, if you don't believe me, I'm going to show it to you a different way. There's the wings at the top, right? Thor's wings are at the top, at the crown. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But what you can't see is that on these little circles here is the circle of yin and yang, of duality. Hot and cold, in and out. The opposite principle. So he's trying to explain to you, while your child is playing with the action figure, you don't know what's going on. But this symbol goes all the way back to Tahuti. It goes back to ancient Kemet. It goes back to Michael. Every culture has taken this concept of Michael and called him Apollo, called him Hermes, called him Tahuti, called him Thoth. It's the same principle in every religion. And the one who sends this information down is that angel, that Seraphim that comes down upon man. Now, go to the book of Isaiah 6 and 1 through 7. Let's go over that one more time before I move on. Go ahead, bro. Numbers. 1 through 7. 6, 1 through 7.
Isaiah or still Numbers?
Isaiah. This still has something to do with numbers. Go ahead.
In the year that King Uzziah died.
Stop. I'm not going to go over this. I'm going to let you finish it. But there's much you need to know about King Uzziah. Okay? Go ahead and read it through.
In the year that King Uzziah died, I saw also the Lord sitting upon a throne.
Stop. The Lord sitting upon a throne. This is talking about inside the human body. Okay? Inside the human body. Keep going.
I saw also the Lord sitting upon a throne, high and lifted up, and his train filled the temple.
Okay.
Above it stood the Seraphims.
Stop. What is this?
Seraphim.
The Seraphims, right? As you see, the Seraphim are dwelling in who? In man. Go ahead.
Each one had 6 wings.
Stop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the first, the highest level. All of them are down here. Didn't it say that that God sent fiery serpents? Here's your fiery serpent. There's your wings. Counting 6 of those wings down inside of the human being. Keep going.
With the twain he covered his face. Okay. And with twain he covered his feet.
Okay.
And with twain he did fly.
Okay. What does fly mean? What did I tell you fly mean? To be able to move from one level to the next, right? Keep going.
And once cried unto another and said, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory.
Stop. Now, what does this mean? Anybody know? This is not someone just saying something. This is when a doctor, a spiritual doctor, beholds someone that's ill. You're not to come out your own mind and say, well, let me pray for this person. See, the people don't know the law. You don't know what God has said in this scripture. To heal the body, the only words that you're supposed to say over a person is holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory. That is the holy statement of God. Whenever you go into a room and someone is sick in the body, that is what you say to them. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. Well, if he's the Lord of hosts, you know he's not the God of all. He's a healing God, right? What did it say? The whole earth. What is the earth?
Body.
The body.
The body
Is full of what?
His glory.
His glory. What can heal the body? Except for his what?
Glory.
His glory. His glory is what heals the body. So this is a statement that's given to the prophet Isaiah and all other prophets after him to show this is how you heal the body from the subjective realm to the objective realm. Once you say this in spirit, what does it do to the manifest body? It heals.
is healed.
But not only it heals, it starts to regenerate the body. Holy, holy, holy. Does that cover the Father, the Son,
and the Holy Ghost.
and the Holy Spirit, right? Holy, holy, holy. Now, we know it says the whole earth. Does that mean just your head?
No, the whole
Just your arm? What's going to happen when you say the whole earth?
all.
All. The whole body is going to be healed, right? So this is the regeneration of the human body. And God has given the prophets the ability to use these words. These words have special tones. And in these special tones, he didn't say this, and then say that, and then say that. He only said, say this.
Say this.
Go ahead, brother. Read it again from right there so you can see it for yourself.
And one cried unto another and said, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory.
Okay, stop. Now, that's the statement. Now, remember I told you guys this?
Cause and effect.
Cause and effect. Michael is the cause, and Christ is what? Is the effect. So now that we said it, what has to happen? Read it. The next verse.
And the posts of the door moved at the voice of him that cried, and the house was filled with smoke. Then said I, Woe is me, for I am undone, because I am a man of unclean lips, and I dwell in the midst of a people of unclean lips.
Okay.
For mine eyes have seen the King, the Lord of hosts. Then flew one of the seraphims unto me, having a live coal in his hand.
Okay, we talked about that last week. That's that spiritual fire in the form of a coal. So now that you've pronounced holy, 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 what are the angels going to do? Just sit there?
No.
They have to come down and heal the body, right? And it's telling you what has to happen first. The regeneration process takes place, right? By using the coal.
That's what you're saying?
Using the coal.
The coal.
Coal is the spiritual intelligence of God.
How you spell that? Coal?
C-O-A-L, the coal.
Oh, okay.
A coal. Just like when you lay something on a fire, you barbecue it.
Oh, okay.
And you pull one little coal off.
Fire, yeah.
Does it take a whole fire?
No.
Right here.
No.
Now what if I want to heal my body, but I'm just sitting here lying all the time? I'm sitting here backbiting all the time. Is the process from the angelic beings that comes down, is that going to regenerate my body?
No.
If I'm walking and talking as a liar?
No.
So now the fire of God has to touch my lips, and now the regeneration process takes place. Now I want you to go back to Isaiah 1. Read the first verse, brother.
All right. The vision of Isaiah, the son of Amoz, which he saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah. Hear, O heavens.
Okay, stop. Go back and read Isaiah 6. 1. Stop there.
In the year that King Uzziah died.
Stop. King Uzziah was the king of Judah. King Uzziah remember I told you guys about this? That on the end of the name. Anybody remember that? Probably a year ago, I was explaining to you what that
The breath of life.
the breath of life. That breath. Nehemiah, Jeremiah, Now, those prophets and beings come from a different group than Els. Michael, Raphael, Israel. That group and the person with the name on the end of their name. Do you notice that there's a different group of people here? There's a group of a set of beings that are one higher and one lower. This is the lower. This is the lower group. Okay? Now, this king, let me show it to you this way. When you study 2 Chronicles 26, you don't have to go to it now. 2 Chronicles 26, do you see King Azariah and King Uzziah? Do you see the similarity on the end of their name? Now, do you realize all these kings there was a reason why their name ended with AH, but you guys don't know it because you don't know why. You just see it as a name. But for me, when I look at it, it's telling me something else that someone else wants me to know. So this is a code. You realize that? It's a code for only those teachers who are able to see inside of these words. Now, this king was also called this king. It's the same person. Same person. It wasn't uncommon for you to call a king by one name and he had another name. If we called him Tutankhamun, but we also called him Khepera, because they had different names depending on the thrones they sit on and the duties and functions that they had. Now, let me take it away from you because right now you think I'm talking about a king who's a man. And that's far from what's going on here.
Now
King Uzziah is the rulership inside of you. What do I mean?
The subconscious man?
No, the physical rulership in the body. What was the first word? Read it again, brother. What did it say? In the year what?
In the year that King Uzziah died.
Stop. In the year that King Uzziah died, that means right here, the human body gets sick. When the king dies, the whole body gets sick. Because now there's no one to rule from the top down. So what happens to the body?
It dies.
So do you see the code here? King Uzziah died, what happened, brother?
I saw also the Lord sitting upon a throne.
Okay, what does one have to do with the other? Now when your physical, when what was holding you together physically dies, what do? You start looking for God, don't you?
If you're saved.
You get what I'm saying? Even if you're not saved. If you're laying there sweating, you're like, I'm going to go get saved after this is over with if I make it. Do you see your natural, when you're healthy and you're well, you think you are the one running everything. You think you are King Uzziah. You think Uzziah was going to keep you healthy with forever. But one day, King Uzziah is going to die. What are you going to do when King Uzziah dies? Do you see that the scripture is telling you specifically in the year? That year is going to happen to you one day. In the year that he dies, what are you going to do? Go ahead, read it again, brother.
In that year that King Uzziah died, I saw also the Lord sitting upon a throne, high and lifted up, and his train filled the temple.
Where's the temple? The body.
What's the train?
The train. Does that look like a train to you? One thing following the other in order?
Yeah.
On a pole? On a track?
I used to run a train.
Now, God is up here. King Uzziah was here, but King Uzziah did what?
Died.
He died. You ever been about to die? You laying there in a sweat? Or you know somebody who's about to die? They start to see spiritual visions. I know a brother who was very ill not too long ago. And he told me, he said, I saw a light. And that light was calling to me and I was headed in that light. He said, but I didn't go in the light. Well, guess what? When King Uzziah dies, that's what happens to you. You start to see what? God on the throne. And when you see God on the throne, now the king who was holding you together physically, no longer there. See, let me put it like this. This is a science in the Bible that you got to be able to get to understand what's being said here.
Yeah, Albarosi. It's just reality, you know. Ready now. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Stand up today or not tomorrow, 'cause it's never too late, yeah. Them can't keep you down, no. Proudly you wear Jaja crown. Stand up today and not tomorrow, 'cause it's never too late, yeah, yeah. Them can't hold you down, no.